Welcome to Joyous Everyday Living with Beth Amin. With 50 years of experience as an author, speaker, visual artist, dancer, and teacher of self-expression, Beth Amin will help you to access your inner joy and well-being through art, celebration, and community. In her book, Joyous Everyday Living, Beth presents a simple system to cultivate a long, healthy life while maintaining the ecstasy of being alive. Beth will inspire you to connect with your inner being and live in alignment with your authentic, powerful self so that you can, as Beth says, party till checkout time.
These Positive Possibility podcasts are meant to refresh your mind and inspire you to be an imaginal self, helping to recreate our cultural stories and personally access the liberating benefits of changing times.
The topic of most of my talks that I give are on the subject of the many benefits of dance movement, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, but also how to sustain the joy of being truly alive and how you create and maintain this state of freshness and rejuvenation throughout your whole life. So my tagline is party till checkout time. So that's what I certainly aspire to and I'm working on all the time. And there's Bert. Okay, good. But today I'm still going to talk about those main topics. But because of our current world transformational situation that's going on, I'm going to focus a bit more on change and how to access its liberating benefits, and really looking at change as creative process and something to be embraced is one of the main ways to create joy in your life on a daily basis. It's an approach, a perspective, so to speak. So there's many great gifts for this point in time. I know people that are incredibly busy, like Jessica, may have to really work at finding the space for it, but I think one of the great gifts is that we now have more time for self-reflection, self-love, self-care. Often many of the things that we have had to put on the side, either because we've been fully working all the time or we've been caretaking families, or especially as women, haven't taken the time to really go inside. And that is one of the things during this talk that I'm going to encourage you to do, is to really enhance your interior landscape and your interior view in this time of quarantine and totally new circumstances for all of us. So also I'm hoping that paper, I don't want to put that down. I didn't remember everything. And one of the greatest skills we can have at this time is the mastery of finding possibilities, positive possibilities. And so this is a great time like no other to reset and reboot. And I know many people are cleaning kind of manically. It's clearing space. And so when you do reboot and reset, it's a wonderful opportunity to see, well, what am I going to leave? What am I going to let go of? What is not consequential? What has no meaning for me anymore? Whether it's in your closet or the way you think or people or anything. And then what am I going to add into this fresh space? So there. And I won't be speaking about the pandemic at all directly because mine is more a personal approach, but I do have a wonderful podcast at hubforpodcasting.com, and I have some really brilliant creative minds there. If you just click on my show, that will give their interpretations and impressions of the positive planetary outcomes that are going to be happening from this situation in terms of shifts of approaches, paradigms, energy sources, and all those many things. So anyway, just a little bit about me. I'm Beth Amin, and I've been a full-time artist, dancer, performer, teacher, and author for the past 50 years here in Santa Barbara. And for the past 10 years, my focus has really been on Fun Dance Fitness for Elders. So I have been in all the senior communities for the past decade, teaching joyous movement, I call it. And it's another testimonial to the power of art to access internal life in any kind of condition. The people I work with have a lot of memory care issues, advanced dementia, many physical conditions, but when we play the music and we encourage them to move, their internal nature just always shows up, and it's always a party. Joy is available at all times, and this is something I've experienced with thousands of people in every walk of life, every age, from autistic children to stressed out executives to, everybody. So I have seen this power, that joy is always accessible, and we're going to just talk a little bit about how to cultivate that today. So let's see. I've made notes. Usually I just talk all the time, but I've been, not working on memorizing things lately. But so we're often in this point in time, you may agree or may not with any of this. Yes. Jill has something to say, Jilly. I don't know if I can unmute you.
That's okay.
Oh, there you go. What is it, Jill?
I wanted to say there's a lot of crackling going on while you're speaking. I don't know if there's any way to correct it.
Okay.
It's a little frustrating, but
okay, yeah.
Okay.
I thank you. I can fix that. So okay, this is going to be better. Thanks. You can mute Jill again, I think. Okay, sorry about the crackling, I know. So anyway, so this is a great point in time for contemplating identity shifts. So that means creating new personas for a new way of living and probably a new planetary order that's going to be coming up. Things are not the same as they were, and I doubt if they ever will be. I think that's better, Jilly. I'm not like moving things around here. Jill, I mean on the desk. So I know about identity shifts because at many times during my 5-decade career as an artist, I've had to reinvent myself, starting in the very beginning in the early 1970s when I arrived in Santa Barbara, a child of the 60s, and was really quite lost, had a lot of food and body issues, had not been a dancer, no connection to my body, and I start eating issues and, insecure, shy, many different things, self-worth issues, all that, and started taking a belly dance class and was completely transformed through these artistic processes and really made a connection to my inner life and began to do this constant shift where I could take on a different persona, one that was more confident, one that had mind-body connections. And throughout, as I said, throughout my career, I've had other identity shifts, like, am I a business person or am I an artist? Can I combine them both? And we always have the opportunity to grow. In fact, that is really the basis of joy, it's one of the main topics. And that's if you really accept that we are here as expansive beings and that our biggest pleasure is really to continuously grow, shut off identities that are too small for us, and recreate ourselves newly. And so, a huge world opened up for me through all these artistic processes. So in my recent book, Joyous Everyday Living, which outlines an entire system for continuously creating joy and really identifying what you want. And at this point in time, it does shift a lot. So I outline all the qualities of aliveness for creating the authentic life of your dreams through self-discovery. So it outlines these 7 different qualities of aliveness that you embody and custom design your own life. So, and creating maximum joy. I'm just going to tell you the 7 topics because we're only going to talk very briefly about 2 today. But these 7 aspects of aliveness are, if I can find my table of contents here, The first one is move, and we're going to speak a little bit about that one. It's very important to move with the entire stream of life, with circumstances. If you have the ability to be flexible with circumstances, it's like creative process. You have a much easier time of staying in a state of joy. Like, oh yes, okay, let's see, here's what's happened now. How can we create with that? So the second one is nourish, how you nourish yourself at all times, especially in times like these. What am I doing for self-care? That is also a road to joy. Release, and that's something I've talked about, whether you're feng shuiing your environment, taking out things that no longer serve you, forgiving people, or working on clearing the past of thought processes and beliefs that don't serve you. Release is one of the most powerful of spiritual practices. Then there's give, like Jill, who's making Mass, the incredible power of giving. It's one of the best ways to receive love and consistently expand an interior state of love. And there's all scientific basis to all this too, of the things that happen scientifically to your body, to your brain chemistry, body chemistry, when you embody these qualities. Create, and that is having a favorable relationship with the unknown, which if you make art, you're going to be an expert at. And so that when circumstances like these arrive, when there is a really huge change in the world, you're not as destabilized. Granted, it's destabilizing, but you're used to going like, okay, what positive possibilities are there here? How can this benefit me? How can I expand? How can we shift the world around us into a better circumstances? So that becomes, it's not like you're sticking your head in the sand or anything, but you're going like, okay, if this is what's occurring, what are the new things that can happen for us and that are way better than anything that's happened in the past? And it makes everything fun and extremely alive. Chapter 6 is join, doing things like we're doing today. We are a tribal species, and it's wonderful to join together, and it is also extremely uplifting. So last chapter is rest, and we're going to speak a little bit about that, especially at times like these. And I know some of you may have a challenge fitting that into your busy quarantine schedules, but a time for meditation and a time for quiet is extremely important as the entire planet is shifting, and quiet is one of the biggest accesses to a state of inner peace, and never more important than right now. So that's the book, which you can order on Amazon, of course, Joyous Everyday Living by Beth Amin. And so quite a bit of this is also about making a commitment to feeling good. I know that sometimes in our culture it's like you're supposed to, suffer, supposed to have a hard time. Things are supposed to be, if you're not working in other words, what I'm trying to say is being in a state of joy can be undervalued, but I believe it's a choice, and a choice you have almost every minute of every day in terms of your thought processes. Like, is that thought making me happy? Is that thought serving me? Or can I find a more positive possibility and actually perpetually create joy and happiness as a spiritual practice? And I know I have to do it all day long, because I'll start thinking something, I'll go like, oh, that's not making me happy, whether it's looking in the mirror or it's something I see, and I'm going like, okay, how can I reinterpret that? And so, so anyway, right now, one of the great things we can do is look at where our identities have limited us in the past and where we could create a new one. So it really is a time to focus on your internal life. And it's just an unprecedented opportunity for both shift internally and externally, because, well, we can't run around quite as much as we did, even though we miss those wonderful things like going out to dinner and so forth. So anyway, I'm going to just briefly reference the book. Let's see what time we've got. I want to have plenty of time for questions, and we are going to do a little bit of dance movement this morning, since it's so important to move in this point in time. Even everybody can do it. Even Elisa, it's going to be really simple. Even you'll be able to do it with your back. alive, okay? Because movement will always put you in a state of happiness and joy. In fact, that is my first chapter. It's called Move, and it's about it's one of the most important qualities that we can embody. Life is defined by movement. If something's alive, it's moved. And especially dance movement is the oldest known ritual to humanity for connecting through ourselves, not only with each other, but to the larger forces of life around us. So the benefits are remarkable. Science has proven beyond a doubt that dance movement is the #1 activity you can do to maintain your cognitive health, to reverse symptoms of aging both cognitively and physically, as well as the myriad of other physiological and emotional benefits that it provides. So this is all science now, but I do encourage you to move. And then there is the symbolic aspect of movement, but is that if you are fluid in your body, in life, you're going to have a much easier time with shifting circumstances. You embody movement, like, and you're not stuck, as it's not as challenging when things come up to get stuck. You'll breathe and you're used to moving through them. So it's a remarkable practice to use movement as a grounding place for your every single day. Whether it's just 5 minutes, like we'll do, of breathing and stretching and opening up and putting on your favorite song, and it will always, even Jessica, I might suggest in your massively complex and demanding day that you shut it off for 5 minutes, like every hour or every 2 hour, and just do some simple self-care and movement just for you, because you're someone that is so giving and so generous with all of us, that again, factor in self-care, however it shows up. It's extremely crucial. And as I mentioned, many of us, especially as women, are men too, of course. You have Albert, yes, you have as well. We have really spent our lives externally caregiving others, working for others, and this opportunity to self-reflect is remarkable. So you can take the time to get to know yourself, and that will give you more vitality and fresh meaning. So I suggest to make a little list of ways you can self-care for yourself right now. Is it going out in nature for 5 minutes and breathing and looking at the sun and giving gratitude? That will give you joy throughout your day. It doesn't take long. You just have to, as I said, place a high value on your own happiness and your own well-being, and it will flood itself. It will build on itself more and more and more. It will be embodied in you. It'll become a way of life. So and it is a natural process for your inner being to grow in a state of expansion. This is being with the stream of life, flowing with the stream of life. So, all right, and it's always available. So another thing I want to suggest in terms of movement is while you're in this unusual time where you have the opportunity for a little more self-reflection, you're not running around quite as much, is that I would make a little list of things that you would love to do. What haven't you done yet? Find something that is going to spark you. Really be different. Like, I don't know what it is. You can't jump out of a plane right now, like so many people, but maybe you want to take a French lesson. Maybe you want to take a salsa lesson. Maybe you want to, learn meditation techniques. Whatever you haven't done, and you have the hankering to do it now. I mean, maybe you want to read a book on sensuality and how to, nurture yourself with candles and scents and hot baths and, whatever it is that you have. Find a couple things that you have never done, always wanted to do, and do them. This is freshness of being. This is aliveness. This is your own creation for yourself. And there's nothing. It's vastly pleasurable, and it's so good for your health and your immune system. I know I'm of a very ripe old age, and I do all this stuff, and I am You know what? I'm walking my talk. That's all. That's all I got to say. Is I know that it is true. So I want to go. So that's the first chapter. Move. I want to go to the last chapter, the bookends of the book, before I get some questions from you. Hello, Michelle. I see Michelle down there. Hi, nice to see you. And my last chapter in the book is called Rest. And it's something that is probably the least valued in our manic culture. And now we have come to a planetary stop. So it's time to take a look at the deep value of rest, doing nothing. What do you think? The culture does not place a bit of value on doing nothing. And yet this is really what will ultimately save us, is some time for reflection, some time to let the systems down, some time to connect with nature, some time to connect with the source of your life. Again, whether it's 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. It's the process of doing that that deeply embeds the experience of joy and vitality and aliveness in your being. You just have to do things for yourself. And now is a wonderful time, if you have extra time, meditate. In other words, quiet your mind. Go sit in your garden or sit in your beautiful living room or sit somewhere. We have the opportunity in Santa Barbara to have perfect weather. Take the time to honor the planet on which you live. Do that every day. That is a deep and extremely important practice as we shift every system on our planet now. Oil, our energy sources, our economic sources, the way we connect with each other, the way we're developing compassion for each other, everything's shifting. Take the time to go within and enjoy the vast universe of your beautiful interior life. And use some of these practices, and I can guarantee your spirits will uplift. And remember, positive possibilities are possible at any time in any circumstances and situation. So before I ask for questions from you, I want to just give you some resources of ways that you can find me. Number one is you can order the book on Amazon, Joyous Everyday Living. It's a remarkable system of self-discovery. And I am starting next month in May. I will be giving a 2-month workshop. It's every week on the book. Every week is a different chapter, and we really design a new life of your dreams, starting with all these 7 aspects of aliveness. And if you would like to email me, it's Beth Amine, BETHAMINE, at cox.net. And if I have your email, I can keep you posted on all these other activities. I also have a weekly podcast with some really extraordinary creative minds at hubforpodcasting.com. Just click on my show and you'll get nothing but inspiration. And they're not long, 10, 12 minutes, and you'll be uplifted. I can guarantee that. I have dance classes. I have a belly dance class. We'll experience that a little bit every Thursday at 4 o'clock. If you email me, I'll give you the link. It's a recurring link. A lot of ladies come. We just party down. So, there's dance movement for you, and I think I have other things, but I think I do. I'm pretty sure I do. But the book, the workshop, the podcast, and then the dance class. We'll start with that, and I think you can link in. All of it's very doable. None of it's massively time consuming, and it will keep your spirits up. So, Jilly, what I'd like to do now is open up for some questions and discussion. If we could do that.
Okay, yeah, everyone's unmuted unless you've muted yourself.
So, let me hear from you.
What did you say the connection?
Well, I'm going to put my headset back on so I can hear better.
Mary, come closer to your speaker.
Where my speaker is. What did you
that's better.
Here we go.
connection was to the podcast you have?
Oh, yes. It's called, you go online and you go Hub, HubForPodcasting.com. Hubforpodcasting.com. And then you just click on Joyous Everyday Living. You'll see my face. And you will get my show. And I just posted one from a friend who is an environmentalist and really a remarkable thinker. And we have a 12-minute, extremely inspirational point of view on the pandemic that will really lift your thoughts about what's going on and possibilities. And so I highly recommend feeding yourself, nourishing yourself with all really, really wonderful positive points of view about what can happen for us in a really great way. So yes, so check out hubforpodcasting.com. And I'm constantly putting on new material, and none of it is very long, so it's not like, oh, I got to sit there forever. So yes, so that's that. Any questions from any of you about? Talk to me.
Okay.
Hi, Michelle.
Since nobody else will talk to you, you know I'll talk to you.
Oh, good.
I actually haven't found this all that difficult.
Yes.
This whole thing of isolation.
Uh-huh.
Why? But I just haven't. I've been really busy. I do exercise every day for an hour with online classes. I dance with myself with some music. And other than controlling the eating part of this,
Yeah.
I don't know why I have not found this very difficult. Maybe because I live alone, and I've lived alone for many, many years. And so I would always every day try to find some joy. And I think we're very fortunate if we have food, if we have shelter, and we can look at that we're lucky, because there's many people that are really suffering.
I think you're so right. And a sense of gratitude is unbelievably joy enhancing. And like exactly what you're doing, Michelle, which is self-exploration and self-having fun. Me too, I've had a wonderful time. I mean, I know that there's many that are having so challenges, so it's not to diminish that, but gratitude with what we have. And that this for a worldwide situation, it's not quite the same as, say, a war, which is really, really, so horrible for many people. I think it's for us, we do have a not a privileged opportunity, but a very fortunate opportunity to enjoy the time that we have. And so I'm so glad to hear that you've found ways to, you know. Uh, experience the moment in a fun way. So good job. Anybody else? Any questions or thoughts about any input? Any input on what you heard? Any questions about what you just heard?
Well, I want to just, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, this
No,
is
it's you. Okay.
I was just going to say about more like meditation practices. Even my girlfriend the other day, I had recommended like a video to her, or a movie, a docu film, and she's like, "That's great," because I just don't get the meditation part. I tried a couple times, I can't do it, and it's like, well, I mean, they can come in forms of guided meditation or practice a minute or two a day. So, I mean, like, what do you suggest for like the beginner?
Oh, great.
Meditation.
Brilliant question, because I'm not really good at it either. My mind is always like, ooh, I have it's just breathing. Tell her to take 10 breaths. Breathing is the most powerful meditation you can do. So you would just tell her to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Hold it a few seconds, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. It immediately quiets the mind, quiets the body. That's it. Even if it's for 10 breaths, we can do that together at the end. And then also, if you want to do something even more profound, is have the breath go through your heart, or just feel that your heart is breathing as you breathe in. Breathe in love, breathe out love. Breathe in love, you put your hand on your heart. Breathe out love. Really, I don't think you need anything more than that.
I think I need some physical stimulation, or that'd be nice now. It's like, 20 days or 30 days without like touching another human body.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, when we can massage or something, but I think simple meditation techniques, even I can't sit still that long, so even done for a few minutes, it's unbelievably powerful in terms of creating consistent peace. It calms you down. Uh, Although I did see oh, I shouldn't really say it. Oh my God, I can't believe I started.
Sorry about that.
I did see on Facebook a posting for CBD toilet paper to calm your ass down.
Yeah, that's
I hope that's in very poor taste. I know that's like in horrible taste. But sorry, thank you. I'm so. Anyway, breathing. Back to, well, since toilet paper is whatever, and so I think that, and I just think, stop. Here's the other like massive meditation. It's like when you start worrying or worrying, just go like, okay, wait a minute, I'm in lockdown here. It's like I can take a minute and just stop and breathe. Oh yeah, I'm alive. I'm alive. I can eat. I got shelter and food. Yay! And then go on about it. That it's like the deepest tonic and the deepest elixir you could possibly imagine, and it's so simple. So I think that's a brilliant question, Jessica. Thank you so much for asking it. Just tell her, simple things, and yeah, eventually. You're saying a little touch, yeah, a couple massages would super be good. I was thinking of ordering one of those hand ones that you could stick behind your chair and all that. So, Mary, you had something to say?
I'm not sure I remember now.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I had. I normally don't go to the alumni meetings Columbia University has because they're in somewhere in LA. And this time, all I had to do was get on Zoom, and I met a number of Columbia alumni. They even asked me to read some of my poetry. And some of them were from California, but they were others from all over New York and so forth. And so that was a plus. But they had a meeting on the arts yesterday, and I couldn't figure out some link to it. So I didn't get to that one. So it takes a while to figure all this out. But once you do, as you mentioned, Beth, you can find more exciting things in your life than you expected.
Lovely, Mary. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. Well, we are going to do a few minutes of movement, but I'd also appreciate any feedback on what you think about these ideas from you. Any feedback, did you get one thought that, or anything?
The meditation one, I remember Spencer Sherman had adult ed on Friday morning, and we spent 10 minutes meditating. And he did start with breathing. I'd forgotten about that till you mentioned take a breath in and let it out. So then I thought that's what Spencer had us do also.
Yeah, it's really easy and really, really effective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we don't breathe. Culturally, we don't breathe where it's like, and we don't like, so it's good. So that's it. Anything else, Elisa or Jill? Just good.
Well,
Bert?
I want to just tell you, should I go?
Yeah, go, Jill.
I appreciate your positivity and multifaceted ideas that you have, that you've shared, that you've written about, that you embrace. And I think it was very, very enlightening. Do you ever do like a guided meditation? We did one a few weeks ago that I thought was really beautiful. And that would be something. I need guidance for meditation as well.
Got it. Oh, great. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So and anyway, I'm about to go take an online Pilates mat class.
Okay.
So I think moving is just amazing, and I want to thank you. And I'm going to buy your book. So
Thank you. Oh, great. And
thanks for
please,
sharing that.
thank you, all of you. Beth Amin at cox.net, at cox.net. Please keep in touch with me and send me your email. I'd love to have your feedback. And Jill, I'd like to know how the book affects you. And so I really appreciate you keeping in touch with me. And I will, did she go? Oh, Jill, there you are. I will create a guided meditation, and that will be on the podcast. So
That would
I'm
be
going in
great.
that
I also
direction.
want to say Mickey.
What's
Lisa,
that?
can I say hi to you? Good
Yeah.
morning. I'm trying to say hi to Mickey.
Jill, there's
Mickey?
tell Barry there's a bridge
Yes.
online on BBO. He can play bridge online 3 times a
He
day.
does it. Trust me, he's there.
Okay, good. I just wanted to keep him busy.
Anyway, I just needed to have a little moment. Thank you. Sorry.
Mwah, so glad you were here, Jill. Enjoy Pilates.
Thank you.
And by the way, we do have Renee Golan is doing a weekly meditation. It's on the e-blast when you get my thing. It's just so she's doing like it's going to be on every Thursday at 11, I believe, or no, at 9. And she's going to be doing a guided meditation. So that's something you might want to try.
Through this, through Zoom here with the.
Yeah,
Great.
through Zoom.
Okay, be well, everyone.
Yeah, I'll forward it to you.
Beth, I just wanted to say that I particularly enjoyed hearing what you had to say about joy, particularly during these really trying times, and we all have them personally, whether it's now or throughout our lives. Just the concept of maybe keeping that in the back or the forefront of our minds all the time. So when we do get low, that little simple word, 3 letters, joy, to just kind of that and say, wait a minute, I live in an incredible community. I have wonderful, friends or spouse or whatever, your dog, whatever it is. But really making sure, children, of course, but really making sure that we're really present with that concept when we get unpresent, or however we want to call that. I think it's a very easy thing to remember when we're not remembering to act that way.
Thank you, Elissa. That's beautiful. So beautifully put. I really, really appreciate that. I appreciate your point of view and your feedback. That makes me very joyous.
Well, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's really hard.
Sometimes they're hard. Absolutely.
Get lower and lower, and it's hard to remember. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Exactly. It's a practice, and
yes.
and who benefits from it, and then you honor life that way. Really, you honor life, and that's deep. That's all. That's what I can say. That's all I can say. So, shall we do a couple just a few minutes of moving, Julie, and
sure.
Yes. And then we'll call it a day. But and then look at your little puppy. Oh, show us him again.
Joy. That's my
joy. Oh my God. Oh God, that's so cute.
I don't know if you see.
I
don't know if you see little Ricky, the 40.
I see Ricky back there.
The 45-pound, 7-month-old Basset, who's
my
large
God,
and quite heavy. He's a very happy boy.
Are you kidding me? 45. So wow. And then Julie made
what you call resting.
What? Hi, Bert.
That's what you call resting.
Resting.
Yeah, resting. It's like resting instead of
resting.
Really resting.
Yes.
That's the dog.
Yeah.
That's the right idea. Can I just say this is quite helpful for me? The fact that it's very hard for me to do my exercise before I need more of a structured schedule, because prior to this I was going to Monday, Wednesday, Friday I'd have a class, and Tuesday, Thursday I had a trainer. But now without that structure, it's difficult for me to really do something. So when there's something scheduled, like we did with Spencer Sherman on that Friday at 10 o'clock, or we always had that at least 10 or 15 minutes. So if I know there's like with you, if you have a 9 o'clock or a 10 o'clock, or to do meditation for 15 minutes, then you can schedule it. That's just my thing, because I need the structure
Yes.
that I have something to do at a particular time of day.
Well, maybe we could do that, Jilly. When I'll be having that developed really soon. We could do that. We could do a few minutes of body motion where we breathe and we open up our body, and then a few minutes of quiet meditation. So, maybe even 15 minutes.
15, 20 minutes. That was
Yeah,
perfect.
that'd be great. Yeah, let's do it, Jilly. Okay. Well, great. Thank you, Bert.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. We have 4 or 5 minutes left. So I'm gonna move my monitor here. Let's see if we can. Let's see. Let's see if you can. Can you see? Ow! I have my headset. Ouch! Okay, you can kind of see me. Wait a minute, I got to get over here.
We
All
can
right,
see you.
so yeah, we're just going to do a few minutes of a little bit of movement, and I want to say thank you so much. This has just been amazing to be here with you. Let me just get some. Let me get a piece of music on. Oh, ladies, and I have a belly dance class every Thursday at 4 o'clock. So it's really, really, really fun.
Is that on?
Laughing?
Is that on your podcast?
Can you hear that? Too loud?
No, it's good.
Okay. So we're going to breathe in. Breathe out. Look up. Out. Breathe out. Breathe in. One arm. Open. Open. It's a heart. Too loud. One arm out. Down. Open. Bend your knees and open. Bend your knees. Open. Same side. One arm out. Looking down and looking up. Up. Now both arms all the way around. Bend your knees all the way around. The other way. The other way. All the way around. Bend your knees. Good. Now shoulders up to your ears. Press them back. Press them down. Press them forward. Take them all the way around in a nice circle. Bend your knees. Come up. Good. Now one arm, shoulder, elbow, wrist, and fingers. Good. Now the other arm, shoulder, elbow, wrist, fingers. Good. Now one and the other. Yeah. Okay, now hips, side. It's my hip, side. Forward. Side. Back. Take it all the way around in a big circle. Yeah, that's it. Careful with your back, Jeff and Lisa. Good. Bye. Well, anyway, we have now currently run out of time, and we didn't get to our shake stuff, but I do encourage you to shake a lot. Yeah, that's right. Oh, shake it up, shake it up.
Thanks for tuning in to Joyous Everyday Living. To join this joyous movement, please go to bethamin.com for news, workshops, and fun celebrations. Follow Beth's Facebook page, Joyous Everyday Living, or send her an email at joyousmovement@gmail.com. Create a blueprint for your own fresh, unique, empowered way of being with Beth Amin's book, Joyous Everyday Living, available on Amazon.
The Joyous Everyday Living podcast is produced by Hub for Podcasting. To stream new and past episodes, or to learn more about producing your own podcast, visit hubforpodcasting.com.